everyone. Happy Friday and welcome to the EMP Variety Show. And it's already November. So we will bring you back to what has been happening for this past week. And as I mentioned, it's the beginning of November. So welcome to November. Excuse me, that's my throat, clearing my throat just there. So November, they have this movement or awareness month for November. Do you guys know what it is? Well, November is the Men's Health Awareness Month. Men's Health Awareness Month, also known as Movember. Movember. So this month is all about men's health awareness. As you can see, Movember Men's Health Awareness for the year 2020. It's time to grow out your mustache and choose a few ways to improve your health. So, one of the scary factors for men nowadays, especially going towards my age, we are worrying about cancer, especially prostate cancer. Prostate cancer is the second most common cancer in men. So why don't you talk to your doctor, get screened, and you should get prostate specific antigen PCA screening, PSA screening, just to make sure that to be aware of your own health. And we have testicular cancer, which is uncommon, but the rate of testicular cancer is increasing dramatically in young men. So just because you feel you're not of age yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen to you. So it's always good to get yourself checked and go to your doctor, your regular doctor, and get this screening. So, and I just want to give some awareness on how you can do self-examination, learn how to do self-examination, know your risk factors, including your family history, race, and ethnicity. It is reported about 9% of men report mental health, but less of them seek treatment. Sorry, I am just, it's so obvious I'm reading off the script. I was talking about testicular cancer history, then suddenly went to men's health. Okay, let's just finish and recap that the fact that with prostate cancer, testicular cancer, do just go check with your regular doctor and always learn how to do self-examination. If you are a little bit embarrassed, go to the doctor first. And but it's always better to get a medical professional to check for you just to be sure. It's better to know than not knowing at all and regret but not knowing about your own health. Now, talking about another aspect of health, which is mental health. As I mentioned earlier, about 9% only of men that report of poor mental health, but less than half of this 9% seek the treatment. And if you are, I understand with these men's health, especially with the expectation of community of men that mental health is not really something that you want to be labeled as, or people do not really take mental health seriously, like it's a serious disease, a serious illness, especially in community and culture of men, where men are generically they are seen to be emotionally strong, mentally strong, that they are there to help to support the community, their family. But bearing in mind, men are human as well. They will be susceptible to mental health illness. So don't try to be denial about it. I can understand with a man's ego that it's hard to seek out for help. And if you do experience symptoms of anxiety, depression, try to talk to someone, to reach out to your friends and family, or even a professional. And with this, with mental health, I know it can be very difficult. And what we are doing also here in EMP Variety Show, we do have a segment called Change It Up. And um, if you do have issues of problems that you need a solution to, don't hesitate to actually do email us at emptalentguild@gmail.com. And actually, seek help anonymously, and how we can help to advise you. And this maybe can help you in a little bit. This is our way to help the community, especially also with men who actually do really need help on mental health issues. And just bear in mind, try not to keep it in, because we don't want to end up to lose someone you love. And the thing is, don't have it, don't uh, expect these men to have the responsibility to tell you they have mental issues, mental health issues. The wives, the siblings, the children. You actually do need to look for signs of anxiety, of depression, on these men, but also with anyone that is around you, and try to reach out to them. And my advice, as a person who has privilege previously experienced mental health issues, especially during COVID-19, don't force them to tell you what is their problem. One thing is, just remember to be kind. Ask them to be, ask them if they're okay. Even though it's just a daily routine, are you okay? And just let them be aware that you are there for them. Just tell them, I am here and I am here to help you. When you are ready, please talk to me. Don't pause them by going, uh, are you okay? Are you okay? Do you want to die? Do you want to kill yourself? That's not a way to handle. That is not the way to handle uh, people with mental health issue. They are very fragile. And the more you force your way into them, the more they will closely tight. They will closely tight their doors towards you. So you want them to open the doors for you so you can actually help these people with mental health issues. All right. So always be kind and spread the love throughout your family, your friends, and your community. And now moving on to more of men's health on November. One of the main causes of death in men is heart disease. So the number one cause of men's death is heart disease. So always check your health control, meaning that you can always check your blood pressure and make sure that you exercise often. And we're not talking about just exercising to become fit or to become buff, but you need to exercise to make sure that your heart is in good condition, is in good health. If you find it hard to walk up one flight of stairs, that means something is wrong. So you need to do something for yourself. It's not for your, if it's not for your image, do something for your heart that you want to last longer in this lifetime, and do it for your loved one, especially when you have family. Those men, you have your wives, your partners, your children. They will miss you, and they will want uh, to have you around. So take care of yourself. It's the same responsibility to talk about, not to talk about, the same responsibility to take care of the family. When you take care of yourself, and when you have better health, you actually do take better care of your own family. I see one of my old friends who says heart attack mostly. Well, there are many reasons why what causes a heart attack. So, but one of the major causes is high blood pressure, and again, like I said, get yourself checked out. There's actually Malaysia is one of the top medical tourism destinations in the world, and they do heart health screening, and they do a lot of local heart health screening at a very affordable prices. So if you do have the extra money, do go out to these medical centers to get your heart screening as well. So now, making sure that you actually take care of your health, make sure you get good blood pressure and good exercise. And now with the good news, if you want to emergency, prevent emergency that is happening, not prevent emergency, prevent death in your household. Prevent death from your household. Sorry, I'm just laughing because I'm seeing one of the comments. This is one of the comments that I see. It says, Men heart attack because wife asked for product. Yes, I think men will have heart attack or women are asking for product back, especially in this pandemic situation where everyone is having issues. Even I will have a heart attack if someone asks me to buy the Prada bag because it is very expensive and it's an unnecessary cost at the moment. Yeah, and but again, going back, do do medical checkup regularly for your own health as well. So now going back to the good news, we actually have an online first aid class course where you can learn to save lives in your household and in your community, especially in this pandemic moment where the medical centers are actually quite busy. So there is something you can do as a public person to your family to actually prevent death to your loved one. So go to our Facebook at Finance Enterprise to check up on our pin post, top post, on the 22nd of November, 22nd of November, where we will have an online first aid class course. So if you want to know more information and how the class is going on, have a look at this video. And it only costs 99 ringgit, and of course, it's going to be instructed and trained by yours truly, Ishak, as I've been training first aid for the past 2 years, and I've been doing it very well. And I can guarantee you, you're going to have fun, even though it's only an online class. You're going to have fun with me because we believe in having fun while you are learning of something that is important as life saving. Now going back to what happened this week, and unfortunately, I have to spread this very sad news. And as a huge fan of myself, my condolences to the family and friends of Sir Sean Connery. As you can see here, Sir Sean Connery, and he is one of the top actors in Hollywood and from Scotland, Britain. He last Saturday, this Oscar winner James Bond star passed away at 90 years old. At 90 years old, that is quite a long life, and I applaud him to live that long. And I hope he had peaceful death. As it's mentioned, his death was confirmed by his family, who said the actor died peacefully in his sleep, surrounded by his family in the Bahamas. And what better way to actually die is to die peacefully, so you can leave in a peaceful way and leave your family in a peaceful manner. So thank you, Sean Connery, for giving us a lot of entertainment throughout my life. I grew up watching James Bond because my mother is a huge fan of James Bond, and I always love the accent of Sean Connery. And I'm not going to try to do a Scottish accent, and I can't do a Scottish accent. I'm so sorry. That is just so disrespectful to Sean Connery. So, and thank you, Sean Connery, for entertaining us for more than 40 years. May you rest in peace. All right. So, um, as you know, one of the biggest news around the world is the Trump, well, the US election, not the Trump news, the US election. So we still haven't have the final say because today is Friday and we are 12 to 20 hours ahead of our time. So we don't know what is the presidential result at the moment. And everyone is praying to turn blue. It's because they just want to get rid of Donald Trump. But at this current moment, I'm looking at Google, um, The current statistics, the results, Joe Biden at 264, whereas Donald Trump is 214. So we bid good luck. Good luck to the Americans out there, to my American friends, to my American friends over there. I really do hope that you do get a better environment with a new government, especially with those my friends who are minority over there. They do deserve better treatment in America, and I hope with this election you can create a new change for yourselves in America. All right, and good luck. And we will see later on this evening what will be the final results for the US presidential election. Now, I just want to share a little bit on what has happened to one of our cast member or crew member, which is Munira Ishak. It's a kind of good news, but also it's actually quite of a bad news. Munira Ishak actually gained a stalker ever since she was in the ambassador of change, and because she has exposed herself to social media, uh, she she is here with us to give good advice to those who needs for a change, to change for the better. But there is a fake account that is trying to steal this identity, and it's really not okay to steal identity when it comes to social media. And I hope that when you are exposing yourself with social media, you need to make sure that you are be careful of what you do, what personal details you do share, and you don't have people actually trying to create this what do you say, this feeling of being stalked, this uneasiness that someone is following you. So do make sure that you are being careful with your social media, what you expose. But nowadays, people are very well exposed in social media. You just need to know how to respond and how to create how to create this safety awareness when people are stalking you, because people are stalking you most likely is people or who have known you previously, and you are and you not only that, you need to be careful yourself, you need to be careful of the people around you, especially when you have family. So my personal opinion is try to be careful on how you deal. Do not deal with your stalker with aggression. Do not steal the stalker with aggression. Try to deal with it and ask help from the police as well, because it is the safety for yourself as well as for your family. And with this, when people are copying, when you have a stalker, or when you have a fan, not just a stalker, when you have a fan, it is a double-edged sword. It can be positive, but it also can have a negative impact. So when those out there who wants to be a live streamer, who wants to be a social media influencer, who live streaming influencer, just be careful of what you expose yourself into the social media, and always ask for help if you are not sure. All right, and with this, we want people to have a positive impact when you become the social media influencer, because people do look up to you, and people do actually want to have that inspiration to change in their life. All right. So, talking about social media, don't forget to like our social media, EMP Talent Skill, and don't forget to share and comment this live streaming. For all your friends and family to enjoy this EMP variety show. And we have amazing guests that's upcoming up next. So now let's hear a few words from our sponsors. Jin, 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 jin. Where are my sponsors? Hi, and welcome back to the EMP Variety Show. So, nowadays, we live in the world of technology where many businesses and NGOs are using social media as a mode of promoting themselves. But this week, we're not going to be talking about social media itself, but we're going to talk about entrepreneurs, food businesses, and autism awareness. So, the first guest that I want to introduce to is one of my old colleagues that when I worked in FNB, when I worked in the FNB. Let's have a look at his poster. So, welcoming our first guest, Azwan, the food stall or food hawker entrepreneur, owner of 1475 Food Company. Let's welcome Azwan. Yay, where are you?
Hello, Faris.
Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Okay,
Hi,
Azwan,
Faris.
let's have a look. Our next guest is an awesome autism advocate. Advocate, and Adli, Mr. Adli, let's have a look. Who is he? All right, let's welcome our advocate, Mr. Adli, owner of Autism Cafe Project. Where is he? Oh, sorry, here it is. Yay! Hi, welcome. Assalamualaikum. Salam Jumaat. I hope everyone is okay. How are you guys today?
I'm okay.
I'm okay. And okay, so before we go into your individual project, before we talk about individual projects, I just want to ask you one question. Every week I have a question, and it's always about COVID-19. And this week nothing's changed it's about COVID-19. Tetapi jawab dengan satu perkataan saja. Just answer with one word, and then explain afterward. So the question is, dia punya soalan, today's case number is whopping number in Malaysia is 1755. 1755. Apakah perasaan anda dengan satu perkataan? What is your feeling with one word about this? We go Azwan for the first answer.
Faris, can you repeat the question? I didn't get it.
Okay.
I cannot hear what you said.
Okay. Okay, the question was with answer with one word. Today's
Okay.
statistic is 1755 of new case.
All right.
Describe a feeling with one word.
With one word only.
Please do not swear.
I think it's anxiety, Faris.
Anxiety. So, anxiety, that is a big word to describe anxiety. 1755. Oh my God. Subhanallah. Okay.
Yeah, it gave me anxiety. That's it.
Explain a little bit anxiety. Kenapa anxiety?
Because my livelihood is depending on this. And then, although I do try my best, but if COVID is still here, there's only so much you can do, right?
Yeah, COVID. But we need to be able to survive, right?
Yeah,
Yay.
that's right.
Okay. Encik Adli, Mr. Adli. Adli Yahya. One word to describe. The case number is 1755. Describe your feeling.
It's like, aduh, macam mana? Really lah, aduh. It's
Aduh,
like,
so
it's like,
even for me, yeah, aduh.
itulah.
I mean,
When I saw the number this evening tadi yang dekat news tu, it's like I buat tepuk dahi lah, aduh, I kata. It's like, it's really, really bad. It's really, really bad.
yeah, people you normally kan ada tanda dahi kerana solat kan. Tapi sekarang ni kita tak tanda dahi because every day kita punya tangan. And with this,
growing,
well, going back when I was reading the research of Dr. Ishak, he predicted that it can go up to, if nothing was done, by the end of October, new cases can be up to 5,000 cases. So this is where I would give the applause to the frontliners who actually managed to reduce the estimated number from 5,000 to 755. Tetapi walaupun they managed to reduce from the prediction, it is actually quite sad that it's growing, and the case that is high ialah dari negeri Sabah with 1,199 new cases. 1199 itu memang agak tinggi lah the numbers, and for me as a Sabahan, because of this dia create a new stigma sebagai orang cakap as a Sabahan, warga negeri Sabahan, and I think people in Klang Valley are a bit skeptical of Sabahan. Ada balik kampung tak? Saya tanya. I said, no, I haven't for 3 years. Oh, alamak. And I've actually seen one of the signs in a hair salon shop. Dia punya sign kat depan, we apologize. We do not accept Sabahan as our clients. And
I think it's not fair lah. They do that.
It's not fair. I mean, sorry. It's not fair. Tapi this is the reality in life because orang takut tau.
Yeah,
Orang
stigma
takut. It's the stigma. And we are going through hardship, and the numbers keep going up, and orang takut. Orang takut nak carry on with their livelihood, stepping out of the house because they don't know what is going to happen to them and what are they going to bring back to their family. Itu yang orang takut sebenarnya. But at the same time, orang pun takut tak dapat income, which is very, very important. Betul tak? So, with this, talking about livelihood we will go with our first guest, Azwan. Kita nak tahu tentang diri sendiri anda. Can you just tell the audience who you are and how you managed to establish this company, 1475 Food Company?
Okay. Everybody knows my name, right? Azwan by now. Okay.
Azwan,
I started one business back in 2013. Okay. Okay, and then after about a year, I stopped doing business. I'm actually a chef.
He is a great
I
chef.
like to call myself a cook. All right. So, and then I went back to work. And then earlier, the end of last year, my mother died. So I stopped working. I quit my job. And then I tried to settle everything. And then when I'm ready to go back to work, so MTO started. So I don't have any. I'm unemployed. Okay, I cannot find any job that suits me. Okay, so I thought, why not? I just start anew again. So with things I like to eat, I'm selling things I like to eat. Actually,
I think that is
that's
actually
that's the essence of my business. My favorite things I try to sell.
okay. So,
That's it.
just looking back, I actually known Azwan for a long time. We actually have started. We worked together, and we were the opening team for this casual dining restaurant. Apa? Tony Roma under the
Uh,
Manhattan Fish
Tony
Group.
Romas, yeah, Tony Romas.
And we were very
Yeah, yeah.
fortunate. We were trained by Americans. They flew all the way from America because we were the opening team and we were in charge. And I remember Chef Azwan here was leading in his department of in the kitchen, and I was a server on of course the front line. Serving this, but it was quite a few years juga kan kita bekerja dekat sana. I can't even remember.
Long time ago, dah lama.
Itu lama gila. Zaman
Lama.
zaman
It's
kurus.
like zaman kurus ah. Aku gemuk juga. It's like I think it's 13 years ago.
Weh, 13
I think it's
tahun
13 years
lalu.
ago.
13 years ago.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm still a teenager, but when you say Tony Romas was 13 years ago, that is a long time ago. And
That's a long time.
yes, it's a very long time ago. And I've seen Azwan. Dia ada buat business sendiri after working from place to place. And I
Yeah.
think he does have a knack for business. And I think this is a very good opportunity. Very good opportunity to have business entrepreneurship during COVID-19 because I think a lot of people has lost their job. Macam Azwan, you
Yes.
found it difficult to find a job. Tapi orang
Yeah.
also lost their job. And syukur alhamdulillah, you were not born lah. You worked hard and worked smart to be able to do business. Bukannya lahir pandai-pandai buat business kan? You work
I
hard,
know.
belajar buat business.
Yeah, it's pretty new to me. Everything is trial and error because I don't have deep pockets. So everything, all the marketing, all in Instagram and Facebook. So
Belajar balik lah
and then
kan?
yeah, I'm lucky to have a circle of friends who support me, and then my wife, okay, who supports me. So this business I'm trying to get up from the ground here is just to survive only. Okay, I'm not looking for fame or anything. Okay, this is just it's a full-on survival mode right now. Yeah.
And yes, and I think a lot of people are on survival mode. So this is why it's very important, you guys out there, to support these what we call Azwan. He falls under micro business, perniagaan micro. So by helping these micro businesses, you actually help their livelihood. Now, talking about your business, Azwan, tak apa, nanti I actually besok lusa I will drop by because I want the audience to see this food. This is this is chicken bite. Kita tengok ah. Wah, dia macam chicken popcorn ke?
Yeah, like chicken popcorn, but more like karage, you know?
No, I don't.
Chicken. You don't know. What this chicken bite? I always buy chicken popcorn, but you know, if you buy chicken popcorn from like any other stall, it's always so much flour. You cannot see the chicken, you cannot taste it. But I made it like karage, the Japanese style, so the flour is minimum. You get the crunch, and then you can get the chicken. That's it. I'm just frustrated when I eat outside. That's all.
So you wanted to do a Japanese fried chicken, Japanese fried
Yeah.
chicken because memang tak puas hati kalau beli kat luar, hanya rasa ayam. Kampung.
Yeah. Yeah, betul. Betul, Faris.
Yeah. So and you guys out there, try this karage chicken. And if you're not into karage chicken, we have another product, a video yang dia buat for 50%. Wah, banyak burger dekat sana.
That one is it's for birthday party.
Siapa punya birthday?
Maimunah. You know Maimunah?
Maimunah. Mai.
Yeah, Mai.
Oh, syukur alhamdulillah. She's I mean, wow, I haven't heard from her for a long time.
That's her son. That's her son birthday party. Her son is 20, I think.
20, memang dah macam rasa tua dah. Because I remember.
Yeah, that's how old you are, Faris. Your friend's son is 20. That's how old you are.
Oh my goodness. Alamak, baru rasa kita punya orang cakap apa? Kita punya age ni. So, your business maksudnya bukan dekat hotel saja. So, if people want to order for event or party, so you can cater lah.
Yes, can. No problem.
No problem. So, how many days advance normally do you need
No problem.
Do you need to book?
Just 1 day only. 1 day.
Wow. One day only.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So now, with this, Cik Adli.
Yeah.
Okay. Cik Adli, you see Azwan, he's doing all the survival, all the this F&B work, Cik Adli.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So now for you, you actually also started a project regarding F&B. So can you just introduce what project you started? That's actually with F&B, but your project with F&B is a little bit of a twist with awareness of autism. And
yeah. So I started a project called Autism Cafe Project. Basically, I champion a cause for autism lah, basically. What happened is this, you know, I have a son. My son is autistic. He's 21 now, and the thought that one day I shall hit the goalpost, so-called, and move to the next world. So what's going to happen to him? So thus I set up the project called Autism Cafe Project, practically just to make sure that he'll survive after I'm not around. So that has actually expanded from him, and we make it's a project for individuals who are like me. You know, we have an autistic son or daughter, and we're trying to get them to live their life to the fullest. And my solution to that is actually forming up a project called, as I told you earlier, Autism Cafe Project, which is a cafe where they can work and they can live their life to the maximum. So that's why we set up this project. It's so important to me. It's very personal, I would say so. I must get this ready, and establishment has been done since 2017. Now it's almost 4 years, right? Okay? Coming
Yeah.
3 years plus. Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah, going on the 4th year. So well done on that. Adli. So, and can I say that it's because of your son that inspired you to not only because you worried about him, is I think it's because your connection with your son, seeing what autism people are actually capable of, for you to launch this
Yeah.
project, kan?
Yeah, you see, Faris, it's normal impression that the public has is either um, autistic person is very highly intelligent. You know, they have certain expertise, you know, except like an extraordinary talent, or they can be very destructive. You know, so what happened is those are the extreme side. One, as I said, one you have a very gifted person, and the other end is you have a severe case, you know, which they might hurt themselves or others, you know. But that is not the totality of the picture. I think what happened is a lot of, I would say many of them are basically are not severe and not highly gifted. There are cases like my son case, you know, he's not either end, you know, but he's somewhere in the midpoint, you know. So the concern is this: if they were to, they're not like us, you know. You can train them like normal ways that you can train them, and they would be eligible to work outside. They're not. They have certain limitation in terms of intelligence, in terms of physicality. They have certain limitation. So this is the group that I'm looking at, and I'm trying my level best to make sure that they have a shot for their future. So thus, the Autism Cafe project is my solution to them. Yeah.
So, with this awareness, like I mentioned, like you mentioned, a lot of people, the public have this image of high functioning
Right.
autism and destructive autism, and actually, media has to be blamed, and it like shows, for example, you know, the Korean show and the American show, The Good Doctor, and this.
Oh
So
yeah.
people are expecting, oh, autism, they're going to become like a good doctor, and this is
Yeah. I
actually
guess so.
far from reality actually.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and I think with this autism cafe, it actually spreads good awareness that there are more than two levels of autism.
Right.
Like a normal human being, macam manusia biasa,
Right.
dia kita ada banyak layer. We have
Right.
different layers to ourselves and different capability and
Right.
different personality.
Right.
And it goes with autism people, autism children. They are still human. They still have
Right.
different personality, kan?
Right.
Different emotions. Bukannya everyone can see a good doctor. He's gonna be, or some genius
Right.
mathematician. It's not
Right.
always like that.
Right.
So now, celebrating that, I want to show one video first of you, of your awareness of your project of your Autism Cafe. So
Right.
let the audience see what you have done previously.
My name is Adli Yahya, and I am the founder of the Autism Cafe project. And obviously, this is my son, Lukman. The general public will tend to associate autism with young kids, but they forget young kids will grow up into adults. So, what's next after being young adults?
So with that, you made your point earlier, Cik Adli, because these kids autism, they will still grow up to become adults,
Right.
and I think as a parent concern, because Azwan, you're a father juga kan? Seorang bapak kan?
Yeah. I have 3 children.
Yeah.
I didn't get.
So, both of you are parents. Of course, with Adli,
Yeah.
his is a slightly different case because of his son with autism. But even with a slightly different case, as parents for both of you, Azwan and Cik Adli, don't you worry about your children's future, no matter who they are. Betul tak?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
And
You know,
this is
like this, Faris, you know, it's like, you know, if you have a son, you worry. our job, our parents, our job is to worry about our kids. You know, that's life. You know.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
imagine this. Imagine this. If you have, if you worry about your normal kids growing up, you know, be independent, whatnot for the future, you know, they worry about their future. But imagine us with special needs youth or children, you know. Imagine us, you know, having that kind of worries. You know, you multiple that by 1,000 times. You know, that's how worried we are. You know, I mean, the normal kids they will grow up, you know, they can lead their own life, you know. But our kids, if we don't do something now, their future basically will be a very dark one, you know, because of their situation. Us, like my son, as I say, I give you an example. My son, you know, is very honest. You know, we have other boys who are in a similar trait. They're very, very honest. Their heart is very pure. You know, meaning if you have them in the market, in open market, chances are
Mhm.
with their character, people will abuse them. Out there,
Exactly.
it's not a heaven out there. The real world that can be very cruel. So when you place them, you know, this innocent mind of them, you know, out there in a cruel world, as I said, chances are very high they will be abused. So we need to do something now, you know, to make sure that at least they have a shot for the future. You know, if you
Yes.
don't do that, they can't do. You know, Haris, apa ni, Cik Azwan, you know,
Yes, sir.
they can make 1,000. My son make bracelet. There are others who make T-shirts and kuih. You know, they can make that.
Okay.
But the problem is they can only make, but they can't sell. You know, they can't talk like us. You know, conversation like us. You know,
Okay.
as part of the characteristic of autism is actually they're having communication issues. You know, so when they make, they have difficulty in selling it. You know, so that's where we come in. You know, part of the project is actually getting them to actually be comfortable what they produce, and once we have that, we sell it on their behalf. So if we do that, we are the bridge to them. You know, so if we sell on behalf of them, meaning they are earning their money, their income. So they don't need to, you know, opt for begging from elsewhere. They don't ask for money from elsewhere. They can work. But then again, as I said, once they work, the product must be sold to someone else. If we don't, they can't do that.
Exactly.
We can. So we can,
And
meaning
it
you and I, lah, basically everybody, lah, you know.
Yes, and it's not easy to find this bridge for these people. And the thing is, because this is the issue that we have in the community. It's because people are not educated on how to deal with this, or they don't even know how to help these people. There are people out there who wants to help, but they just don't know how. So there are people like you, which I am very thankful for, who actually becomes the bridge also for these people who actually do want to help, but they do not know what to do.
Right. You know,
So
we have couple of cases, right? You know, like
yes,
you know, sometimes you know, we have some of them quite intelligent, you know, but as I said again, they have communication issues, you know. Then when you employ these kids, try to understand them, you know. If they are having communication issues, like, you know, they can't talk properly, or they can be very straightforward, you know, they can be very, very honest, cruel honest, you know, when they say things as black, they will tell them black, you know. So
exactly,
sometimes you need to understand them. If they are being very honest, if you put them at the front as a frontliner, that can be an issue. You know, because,
exactly,
you know, if you
Yeah.
have something that is not nice, you know, when you talk to a
yeah,
customer, you shouldn't say that it's not nice. You have
yeah,
other ways to say it, you know.
yes.
So, but they will
Like
tell the
Yeah.
truth. You know, if the customer say the customer wearing a bad or a fashion problem of, you know, designs t-shirt
the,
which
uh,
is
the
very
the
bad,
shirt
you
is
know,
a bad color on you, and these
they will
kids will
tell.
actually say direct. In
Yeah, they will
Melayu,
tell. You know, but
people
if you
actually
put
the
them
expression is lurus
somewhere,
bendul.
lurus bendul,
Can
yes, lurus
yes,
bendul, lurus bendul. So if you put them at the front liner, that could be a problem, you know, because they say what they saw. If it is you have a big nose, they will tell you a big nose. You know,
yes.
if you have big ears, they will tell. You know, they don't have anything inside. You know, it's just that what
They
they
don't
saw,
have
they will
the
tell.
inhibition to control them. Yeah,
Yeah, so the employee should understand
Yeah.
this. You understand them. If they have
exactly.
this, you shouldn't put it over here. You put it elsewhere, because you know, one good point is that they love cleanliness. You know, majority
Yeah.
love cleanliness. So instead of putting them at the front line, why don't you get them to actually be part of the cleaning team? You know, because
Exactly.
they don't know how to cheat, and they work to perfection. So you know, really,
That
really,
sounds. That sounds.
my son washed the dishes, you know, the plates and all with gutso. You know,
Wow.
it's like him
That
and the
sound
plate. That's all, you know. So parents, what do you call this? Employer need to understand them and make sure that you picked up the best traits in them and utilize them,
Mm.
not the bad part. You know. So hiring them would actually benefit the company rather than not. You know, but people need to understand them first.
All right. So that is actually very insightful, and it really gives you the image of just a small smidge of what autism life is. So before we go on any further, I want to introduce you guys to another guest of our this evening, who is our ambassador of change. So we're going to go into our next segment, which what we call change it up. So excuse me. So our next segment, change it up with it. So we welcome Munira Ishak.
Hi everyone, Assalamualaikum. It's
Wow, from Dubai.
honor. I'm in Dubai, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Dubai.
Lovely.
It's an honor to be in the presence of Encik Adli and Encik Azwan. Hearing your stories, I really, really feel honored to be here with you guys.
Wow.
You have such resilience and your causes are so wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes, well done.
Thank you.
So, Cik Azwan and Cik Adli, this segment, we have emails, one or two emails that we pick every week for Munira to give advice on. So, our problem for this week, I'm going to read the email out to you guys, and Munira will give the advice to this person who sent the email to us. So, our email this week is from Eddie. Okay. Hi there. I would love to hear your perspective. I know that you have changed from corporate to entrepreneurship, but for me, it's the opposite. I couldn't keep up with my business, and now I am admitting defeat. I work in events and wedding planning, and I can't maintain the change to digital, especially wedding planning. Now, my choice is to go to corporate to maintain my basic needs. I already took the first step in applying for vacancies, and I got a couple of interviews. I am not sure if I did well, and I feel like I was forced to be interviewed and was not enthusiastic. And I am very anxious to enter the corporate world again, and the thought of it makes me sick. I was a huge, there was a huge reason I didn't go for corporate, and I don't want to be reminded of it again. Can you advise me how can I get over this threshold of not wanting to be in corporate and appear more excited and motivated in these job interviews? Because I do really need a job. Appreciate your thoughts, Eddie. So Munira, what can you give Eddie the advice?
Yes, so I feel like, you know, Encik Azwan and Encik Adli would probably have more insight about managing all of this. But of course, I will give my thoughts first. So hi, Eddie. First of all, kudos for being practical to accept actions need to be taken. You know, note the word that I use. Practical, not defeat. So taking first or small steps to works wonders because you overcome your fear and realize the first time it is terrifying. You know, like the first interview that you go to, it's terrifying. And then you go for the second time, it is less scary. And then for the third time, it's more of like you realize that you're getting used to it, you know. You can say you're getting used to like rejection, but this is what you do. When you repeat things over and over again, you will have less fear of doing it. This is also the case when you're trying to find a job, because I understand the situation of having freedom of doing your own thing versus being thrown into the ocean of full of sharks, corporate sharks, as we call them. So Faris, I just want to check with you. Do I have an echo?
No.
It's okay. All right.
Yeah, it's
So
okay.
it must just be my on my side. So okay, I'd just like to continue. My take here is that for me, I would start with smaller companies. Why I say that? Because I used to work in a big corporate company. So I'm not sure about your background, Eddie, but smaller companies have less stringent requirements and have a more cozy and inclusive culture. More so if it's a family company, you know, the culture is so much different than a big corporate company with a board of directors and so on and so forth. And you will find it's more suitable to work for these companies rather than, like, for example, working for Adli's company or Azwan's company. I think it's more inclusive rather than going for the huge company. So now, if we move on to talk about appearing more confident in interviews, more excited or more motivated in job interviews. As myself and Faris and everyone appearing on this show, we talk with confidence, and this confidence did not come from thin air, I am sure. You know, for me, in any public speaking situation, I used to do a lot of corporate presentations, interviews, and also I do this live show. And people think that, you know, it's so effortless for me. But the fact is, I do best when I know what I'm talking about, you know? So I don't know what's your background. So if you're speaking about your specific talents, like what you mentioned, wedding planning and events, if you're going for your specific talents, you will do better than trying to speak about what you think the interview wants to hear. You should just talk about yourself. When people say you go to interview and be yourself, I think it's a very good tip. Just talk about yourself, about your own strength, and don't worry about what, you know, all of these interview tips, because I find that among my community of friends who go for interviews, it's best to just be yourself and sell your own skill rather than thinking about what does this interviewer want. So I'm gonna like pretend like I'm good at that, but I don't think that works, honestly.
Right.
So, you know, like what Adli mentioned as well, taking your own, like for autistic people, taking their skill and, you know, marketing that, like saying that I'm good at this and this and that. So it's your own specific skill that you need to focus on. Right. So for me, before I go on anything, I have one tip that I take, like even with other people who are good at public speaking. Before I go on anything, an interview or this show or anything, I will take just a few seconds to take a deep breath, silence. If you know, you could do your own prayer or whatever it is that you do, or even meditation to gather yourself before you go on. And once I have those few seconds, take a deep breath, and then I go on. And when I go on, I treat everyone in front of me, including the interviewer, or be it a board of directors, or be it an online show audience, treat everyone like my friend. Like how I would treat my own family or my own kids or your own father. Just treat everyone like your friend. Like look at them in the eyes and talk to them like they are your best friend. So I hope it helps. And I really do feel like what Faris mentioned about mental health, I really have a high opinion about people who do reach out, because I myself, I know when to reach out and I reach a bottom. And I thank you for everyone who tries to reach out or tries to reach for help. So that's my take for today's question. Oh, Faris, you are muted.
Okay, so okay, that is a very good insight on your perspective, because I can understand. I can actually relate also to Eddie being, and also I think maybe Azwan can relate to that when it comes to trying to get another job. When you have a specific skill and the job that is available is not your specific skill, and you feel that you try and it's not gonna get you anywhere because it's not the specific.
Yeah. For me, even doing business or working for someone else, I think working for someone else is a piece of cake, because in business you have to think about everything.
You are the
Okay, because
CEO.
because
Yeah.
I always do the same. I'm always in the same field, whether I'm in business or I was working. So I always cook. So I think working is I think for someone else is a piece of cake. You just follow instructions and you can do no wrong. That one.
But
Maybe
it
you can
is.
share your tip about how to find the right job.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're doing the same field that you're doing now, your business, I mean, and then you're going to work in the same field, I think that will be no problem for you. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I think
you
there are
already
things
your expertise.
exactly because as opposed to trying something new, it can actually work
Yeah.
against you. It may be temporarily, but you may not even last 1 month. Like Munira said, trying to go into corporate, these corporate sharks they may actually swallow you whole because they will expect you did this, you did that. I expect this amazing things from you, and it's like you mentioned, Adli, even with autistic people, they expect like, oh, they're so genius, they're a genius, they're intelligent, and it it's also our job, and also we need to tell the community out there, especially during these hard times, uh, please do not put expectation too high where people cannot achieve it and people cannot attain. And I remember from previous episode, from Munira mentioned that it's actually important to have these steps where people can achieve these steps. Even, yeah, people who have mental health issue and want to get out of bed, putting your foot on the floor to the bed, that is one step. And I think a lot of people miss that, and especially when you have special need people like autistic people, they forget this one step could be huge to these people, but they to other people may seem small. So it does depend on the perspective.
Yeah. I would like to add in a bit,
Mm-hmm.
regarding on my side of the story. I love to when you talk about the expectation matters. What happened is this. On our side, speaking from parents' perspective, yeah, a lot of parents with autism youth or autism kids, they put their expectations to the high side. Their expectation is this, but not everybody can achieve. This is what you want. You want your kids to achieve certain expectation, high expectation. But then again, your son or your child or your daughter doesn't have the capacity to reach that expectation. So it's important to understand them, rather than having your expectation versus their ability. You must manage that. The parents and also the employer must manage their expectation. You have this extraordinary kids, with certain abilities. You can't expect them to perform at a certain level. But if you understand them and manage your expectation, there's a whole new world that you can explore with them, really. But it's important to manage your expectation, especially with the youth with autism so far. Yeah.
I think parents are the first line of cheerleaders in each person.
Right.
Once you are managing your expectation and they are
Right.
confident,
Right.
with their own capability, I think there is
Right.
nothing that they can't do.
Right. As I put it this way, my expectation to my son last time was like, he has to be at a certain level. But when at a certain point, I understand him better. I'm okay if he is a person who wash the dishes. I'm okay if he's the person who sweep the floor. I'm okay with that. So once you saw them doing that, then you feel good, as opposed to you want them to reach certain level of work, but they can't. You know they can't. But so
Yes.
you have to manage your expectation. As I said, dishwasher, floor cleaner, garbage cleaner. I'm okay with that. I'm happy. So parents need to manage their expectation within their child's ability. Don't don't put your expectation too high. It hurts. It will hurt both sides basically.
It hurts both sides.
Yeah.
I can't agree
Yes.
more than that.
And the thing is, what I feel the problem with community is the image of high expectation, meaning that they already put, for example, being a garbage cleaner is low expectation, when it's not a low expectation. It's actually one of the
These
necessary.
are the unsung heroes. The floor cleaner,
Yes.
the garbage collector. These are the unsung heroes. Imagine there's no one to collect our garbage.
Oh my
Imagine
goodness.
that.
We will not be living in a very comfortable environment at all.
Yes, and I really respect these cleaners because I grew up after school. I worked as a cleaner,
Wow.
and
Work as a cleaner too.
yes, we worked as cleaners. And the thing is, and I really hate when people disrespect all the kakak, the machi cleaning your office or cleaning your cleaning your condo apartment that you are living in, and they can be quite disrespectful to them. I'm going, if you know how to do better, you do it, as opposed to trying to bully these people. And I find it amazing. And because I am friends with the cleaners in my condo complex, I always tiptoe when they just mop around, and they always laugh when I tiptoe, because I know how it feels when you mop and then someone just step on it, and it's actually quite disrespectful. And then when I tiptoe, they go, no, no, it's okay, just step. I will mop behind you. And I always ask for advice from them if I can't clean something. How do I clean this hard spot? What do I use? And they have this amazing trick. So I think it, like I said, the point is people are putting expectation high and is
Yeah.
Yeah, not trying to be, more inclusive. Like
Yeah,
even
exactly.
teaching your kids. Sometimes we have this culture, Asian culture, Malaysian culture, I don't know what it is. When the kid sees a cleaner, it's like, okay, you don't want to grow up to become a cleaner, which is a very wrong thing to say. Never say that to
Very
your
bad.
children. It's like,
Yeah.
you want to grow up, you should say, we should respect our cleaners,
I think
or
making
you
decent life
show.
is better, rather than
Yes.
degrading them. They lead a decent life. So what more can you ask?
Yes. So, what I would say, instead of saying you don't want to grow up to become a cleaner, you should just greet the cleaner. Hi, assalamualaikum, machi, buat apa? It's like in front of the kids, and the kids will grow up
Right.
to learn this.
I
So
totally agree. Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
this is a bit
So I think
petty of
what
me.
we're trying
Yes.
to say here is, especially with the change it up question this week, it doesn't matter if you're in corporate or you're in business. What matters is you do your best. You do you.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Totally
and
agree with
maybe it's a bit petty of me, but I have those people who actually what you call it, disrespect and degrade these type of people. And look at your situation now. These cleaners still have a job, and these people, because I know some of them personally, they are struggling. They were let go. They were messaging me, Faris, I've been jobless for the past 3 weeks. And I know these people, they're the ones who disrespect these cleaners in front of me. And I go, and then look at you now. This is why you should not disrespect these people. You can be jobless anytime. And these people who are actually are cleaners and everything, they are now doing better than you because they have a job, they have an income, and you've just lost your income. So next time, be thankful to what you have and respect the people around you.
that. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, that's right.
So, the timing dah pukul 10.15. How time
Okay.
goes so fast when everyone is talking. Because I cannot drag for too long sebab nanti our audience pun dah hilang fokus based on our kita berborak memang seronok lah. So going around each guest, including our ambassador of change, what can you say? What is your final say about what you do and how they can support you? Okay, so we go from my sebelah sini, Cik Adli dulu. So the question is, your final say to the audience and what can they do to help and support you?
On my side is, the future of our boys is basically in our hand. They don't have the capacity to make their own future, So they, as I said again, they can make product, but in the end, they don't know how to market it, So they will have a future, and the future will be bright, but the future must be created for them. And who will create that future? It's us, So if we don't do that, then they have a very bleak future. So future create for them, we have to create for them. If we don't, as I said, their future will be bleak. Help us, help the project. But if you help and if you help us, you're actually giving them a good possible future for them. So help them to create a good future for them.
Wow, thank you very much, Adli. And you can follow the Instagram Autism Cafe Project and FB Autism Cafe Project Malaysia. So do look into it, and you can message Adli and the people who's taking care of it privately. See how you can help them to create a better future. So again, thank you, Adli. So Azwan, Azwan. So your final say to the audience and how they can support your business.
Okay. Firstly, I just want to say it's so much fun doing this. Thank you for this. Okay, and then I just hope the community, all the people, continue to support not only me but all the small businesses out there. Okay, because I think these small businesses that we are selling food, crafts, or services, we will try to give our best because we are small, you see. Okay, more than the bigger companies or the corporate companies. Okay, that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well done, Azwan. So it's very good. Don't forget the micro businesses as well. Support the micro businesses. It also helps them not only to survive. Actually, it's more important for the side, but to have a livelihood for them. And Munira.
Yes.
Yes. So my final say today. First of all, I'm honored to have our special guest this week. I'm really inspired by everything that you are doing. And I am called the Ambassador of Change because I have changed from 12-year corporate job in oil and gas, global company, to starting my own business in a different country. So I like what Azwan said about, supporting small businesses. My business, I'm a travel counselor. It's a travel service. And I'm a small business owner. And I decided to have that change because I want to be more inclusive in my life rather than spending countless hours doing a job for another organization. So I'd like to be there more for my children. I have 3 beautiful children, by the way, and I don't have sky high expectations of them. I try to manage it. If they like it, they like it. If they don't like something, I'm not gonna force them, Right. So this is my goal in life, is to have more time with my children at home, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. So support small businesses, support the people around you, and have less expectation. And I think this is the theme for this week's show.
Well done. And finally, thank you very much, everyone. So from myself, the EMP Variety Show and the crew, We are very honored to have you guys this week, and I think it's a very good conversation and messages to send to our audiences out there. And I hope for those out there, if you did not get to catch the whole show, you can actually go to our YouTube channel, EMP Talent Scale. You can go to our Facebook page, EMP Talent Scale, to watch the episode again. Do share this episode and do support these people who are my guests, Azwan, Adli, and Mira. And I myself in micro business, and I really believe that we should really celebrate and support micro businesses. So with Che Adli and Che Azwan, I would love to invite you guys because we are doing an e-commerce EMP shopping network e-commerce. Since we were supported by the Selangor government, we want to support micro businesses to help them to market and sell their micro business product in our e-commerce platform. So everyone can go to the Finance Enterprise, and you can actually read and register to join our introductory tutorial for Golongan Asna e-commerce products on 8th of November at 2 p.m. So thank you very much to everyone. And I really hope that everyone has a very good weekend. Have a very good future for all of your projects. And I hope that everyone will have a happier life by not having high expectation and actually accepting be kind and spread love and positivity to everyone. So everyone, I would love to say thank you. You guys are doing a great job. So this is
Thank
it
you
for
for this.
tonight. This is it for tonight. You're very welcome. This is it for tonight. So let's say goodbye to our audience. So goodbye. Thank you very much. And good night. Dun, dun,
Good night.
dun.
Good night, everyone.
Night.